Hello friends, welcome to my new data structures and algorithms in Java tutorial series video. Friends, in our previous tutorial we actually discussed about the representation of a try node in Java. So in this tutorial we'll actually see how we can implement a try in Java. Friends, in our previous lecture we saw about the representation of a try node in try. That a try node has two data members. One is the try node array, which actually points to the other try nodes, and which are also called as child nodes of that particular try node. And we also discussed that if you are taking the English words, then the size of this array is 26 because the English language contains 26 alphabets. Also friends, the second data member is nothing but a boolean value which indicates the end of the word. So we set this value as true when we know that word is inserted completely. So we will discuss about these two data members in depth in our upcoming lectures. So friends, let's see the implementation of the try class. So friends, here try will be implemented using the try node class, which we actually discussed in our previous tutorial. You can also see that root try node is at the top of the try, which has empty value, and it has a try node array which actually refers to other try nodes. So here you can see if you are working with English alphabets, then there are 26 links, and these links actually point to other try nodes, signifying that there is a letter into a try, or they actually point to null. So friends, in the try class we actually create an instance variable of try node and we give it a name as root, and whenever we initialize this try class we simply create an empty try node, and then using that root try node we actually insert the other try nodes, signifying that there are letters into this try. Moving ahead, friends, now here we will discuss about the character and the index mapping, that how it is done. So friends, as here you can see that it is an array of try node. An array has indexes. So in order to store these English alphabets, we usually take the values of the index and we map it to the alphabets. So here into this array we are not actually storing these values, we are actually using the indexes and we are figuring out the alphabets. So here you can see A points to 0th index, B point to 1st index, C point to 2nd index, and similarly the rest of the alphabets. So how this mapping is done, let's see this demonstration through a code. So here you can see a char in Java is nothing but a 16-bit value which starts from 0 and goes till 65,536. So here we are creating a char value which points to A, and let's say if we typecast it to integer value, then it prints 97. So this 97 is nothing but the ASCII value of this character A. And let's say next step, from A we minus the char value A, it prints 0. Similarly, let's say we define another value H, and if we subtract the char value A from H, it prints 7, because from A, H is 7 steps ahead. And similarly, if we define a value Z, and on the console if we print Z minus the char value A, it prints 25, which signifies that Z is 25 values away from A. So friends, here you can see that we can actually map the character with an index value by using a formula that whatever the letter we pass, and if we subtract the value A, we will actually get the index value. So for example, if we pass A and if we minus A from it, we get 0. If we pass H and if we minus A, we get value 7. If we pass Z and if we subtract A, then we will get the value 25. So friends, in try, as we are referring to this array, we are implicitly mapping the index value to character, we are not actually storing these characters, but any particular index value, we are simply mapping it to a character. So friend, this implicit character to index mapping we will be using in our upcoming tutorials when we will actually insert a word into a try and when we actually search for a particular word in try. Also friends, in our previous tutorial we actually saw this demonstration. So let's look it one more time to make it more clear. So here you can see the root try node is empty, and whatever the values we will be storing, we will be actually storing into the children's of the root. We won't be storing any value inside this root because this root is also type of try node which refers to other try nodes through this array which are nothing but the child of this root. So let's say we want to insert h. So what we do is we simply traverse to the h index. We see that its value is null. So then we create a try node like this, and then we'll simply refer its value into this index. Moving ahead, let's say we want to store a. So as soon as we have inserted a value h, and after that we have to insert a, so we use this link to traverse to this try node, and then we go to a and we see that it's pointing to null. So then we create a try node, and whatever value it has we simply put it into this index. And similarly after a we go to t. So from this try node, after inserting a, we simply traverse to this try node, we go to the index which maps to t and we see that it has null value. So we'll simply create one try node, and whatever the value this object will hold into the memory, we'll simply store it into this index. Because here a particular try node actually refers to other try nodes. So here this try node is actually referring to this try node from the index whose character value is t. Also friend, t is the end of the word which is marked here as in yellow. So what we do is we simply set the boolean value of is word to be true, which signifies that we have completely inserted the word hat into this try. So friends, in this tutorial we actually saw the implementation of a try, that it is made up of a try node. Now let's go to Eclipse and implement a try.